Welcome DJ to DHL team behind the team. What is data performance manager? Set us a framework for what your profession does.
Firstly, thank you for having me on the show. I think that this whole data and performance is evolved in sport over a period of time. So the role basically encapsulates everything that happens in a sporting organization. Tracking of our own players over a period of time, what they do in domestic cricket, what they're doing in different tournaments and so on. Scouting the opposition, which is probably one of the most important in-tournament stuff that happens. I've been blessed with a great team as well, so making sure that we have all these things packaged in a way where it is palatable in a lot of ways and digestible.
But how did you manage to get this culture in the MIA system? Because everybody claims to use data, right? And as you rightly said, there is a recruitment, there is auction, there is player specific data, there is opposition data, there's internal data, and then there's the external data. But at the end of the day, this framework and this data bank that you have and the culture, tell us something about that.
I think that it's interesting that you use the word culture, and I think culture precedes everything, right? Yeah. Whether you say analytics or you talk about anything in an organization. I think culture precedes that, and I think MI as a franchisee have been in the forefront in terms of how big they are in terms of culture, and that's kind of imbibed into every one of us who try to add value here on a daily basis. So I think data as a culture itself is something that I've evangelized over a period of time, and I think we've been blessed enough to have a great set of ownership, right from Neetha Babi to now Akash. They propagate the fact that this culture is important. It drives from the top in a lot of ways, and we are able to kind of execute this and put this in practice, internally amongst not just the staff or the players, but also the larger ecosystem.
What is the prep for this?
Again, you're using a word that is, of course, whether it's mainstream or sport. I think preparation for anything.
I'm sounding so knowledgeable.
No, I think preparation is the key foundation for, let's say at least giving yourself the best chance of success. So I think that in sport, especially in cricket, there is a lot of focus on preparation, and one of the, I would say that one of the key elements of preparing for a tournament or a game becomes more important than anything else. So I think that, like I said, from a culture standpoint, your coaches need to buy into it. It needs to drive from the top, and that's kind of what we've been able to achieve so far. So preparation wise, whether it is the head coach or the batting coach or the bowling coach, we have certain processes in place that kind of helps us, whether we win or we lose, the routines keep going on, and that's how we put preparation in the forefront of not the result or the outcome.
Give me an example that you gave a piece of data and that helped bowler along with the bowling coach, as in a meeting, get better and better.
So I'll unbox this into two parts, right? So the first part is the fact that, how much does the coach actually want information to prepare for, let's say, an opposition. Let's say we are playing some opposition tomorrow. The general chats would be that what are the trends that the opposition comes in terms of either a batsman's shot making ability, where their weak areas are, how do we kind of develop a game plan that can force them to take a higher risk option. So things that are discussed are those, and then that's built into a plan where seeing is believing, right? So cricketers are run away from graphs and pie charts and bar graphs. So how do we actually sell that? And that's where the partnership develops in terms of how do we kind of sell the story in terms of, we want you to execute this. Are you in with this plan? And when the magic actually happens on the ground, it is a testimony to your preparation in a lot of ways. So I'll give you an example of it. It took us 3 years to convince Malinga to come around the wicket with his angle, and that proved to be a game changer in that phase of the tournament. So it's those 1%ers that makes it 100, right? So So we are always looking for those 1%ers, where it lies, because we're dealing with high performers, with high skills, and you don't need to tell them what to do. But if you can enhance or augment their cricketing intelligence,
that
is where data becomes that much more important, where it is an augmenting factor, and not like, oh, you know what, this is what the data says, you have to go and do this. It never happens like that. There's the human element. People are talking AI and all those things. I think that the human intelligence, the cricketing intelligence of the player, data just augments it. It strengthens their, like you rightly pointed out, you use the word instincts, right? It strengthens the instinct to go and actually confidently do something.
This is truly amazing, because this is probably the best example of team behind a team. That here is an omnipresent system which is part of a culture, which feeds in information all the time. Not only feeds in information, gives analysis, puts it to the right pipeline, and then therefore at the end of the day, results and outcomes will automatically happen. One request to you, DJ, before we end: you've got to make this legacy a little bigger, and hopefully train a whole lot of engineers and data scientists to get into our business of sport. And that is something which will be amazing, because it's a great alternative profession.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity as well. Nice speaking to you. Always love to have a conversation.
Cheers.
Right, cheers.